You literally
Yeah.
asked me a very specific question. Denise runs Heaven like the DMV. She's a New Yorker. This is like how she talks. Yeah, and she just makes sure the line moves along. She doesn't run the prayer department. She just greets the dead. So people always get that confused. I don't answer prayers. Not a miracle worker. I just check people in and out. So that's Denise, and she's the first face you see on the other side. And there's a lot of funniness. There's a lot of fun and comedy that came from that. But and I should have known that it would also be really important and impactful and emotional for people too. I had no idea that was going to happen, but now I see why.
It's so cool taking something that is probably the most devastating thing any human will ever experience, which is losing a loved one and not really knowing what's going to happen to them, and using that kind of like receptionist at Heaven's Gate and making it into comedy and allowing people to smile and laugh through it and feel a little bit comforted by it, because it's taking some of the scariness out of it. Although your character Tammy is terrifying AF,
Yes,
but
I love
but
that.
I think it's just such a beautiful way to help comfort people and make light of something that is actually really heavy. And you do it so flawlessly, so effortlessly. Your accents are insane. I know you already have a show, but I think you've got like 10 more
Oh,
coming.
I think I definitely. I have
No.
like 10. I have like 20 show ideas. So I hope I get to make them in my
Oh,
lifetime. That'd be so cool.
you so well.
Can we manifest a Taryn Delanie like full variety show? Like
I think that would
circa
be
Sonny
super
and
fun.
Cher, but like your
Oh,
own
I think that'd be
SNL?
super fun. Yeah, I think that would be super fun. I have so many ideas. There's so many things I'd like to do. So we'll see. Somebody will pay me to do it. Hell, let's go.
They'd be
So
smart to.
So every week, Kendall and I, we have our Instagram for the pod, Wholeheartedly Pod, and we ask people questions. And this week, we asked them, what do you want to know, either about Taryn's glow up story or about the experience of having a surprise reveal in her apartment. And we had so many requests. But the first one I'm going to ask is, somebody wanted to hear what Tammy's reaction would be when she first saw the apartment walking through it. So if you can give us a Tammy breakdown of what she's seeing in the apartment. And for the record, for those of you who don't know, Tammy, explain who Tammy is.
Tammy, and I feel like the Tammy's fans, I want you guys to know, like, nobody rides harder for anyone in history than the people ride for Tammy. Her fan base might be smaller than like compared to like a Taylor Swift, but I promise you, nobody rides harder. I get emails of people like checking on Tammy, wanting like responses from Tammy. Like, people love Tammy. Tammy is a ghoul, to put very gently. We don't know why Tammy is so ghoulish. That's the purpose. Everybody wants to know. I don't think you guys are ever gonna know why Tammy is so ghoulish. She is like kind of like a dark shadow creature. She's very, very old. The point of Tammy, I think the biggest question is, if Tammy's so ghoulish, if Tammy's so odd, then why is she in heaven? And I think ultimately the argument is that, who are you to say who makes it? Who are any of us to say who makes it and who's good and who's bad? And I think that is a deeply held belief I do have, is that, um, I believe in love thy neighbor, and I mean that radically, and I mean it deeply. And I think
Love
Tammy
that.
is a great embodiment of that. And I think the fan base that Tammy has, she has a very scary voice. Tammy, this is Tammy. So she has this really scary voice. Um, but the point is when you watch Tammy, she's funny, and a lot of people, I've had so many people email me or DM me or comment, and like, I used to really not like her character because I was so off put by her, but now I find myself looking forward to seeing her in the episodes.
Mhm.
And as funny as that is, I think there's also something very sweet about this sort of statement we're making with Tammy, which is everybody's lovable. No matter how odd you are, no matter what you've done, everybody is lovable.
I am a Tammy stan. I love her. She makes me laugh every time I see her, every time I hear her. It also might give me goosebumps because she's a little creepy, but
Yeah, she's very
she is
creepy.
so funny, and the way the way that she views things, which is why I'm so excited to hear how you think Tammy. What would Tammy's 3 or 4 sentence feedback be about if we did a surprise reveal in your apartment for Tammy? What would she say? Her reaction?
I think she would immediately come in and be like, hold on. I think first, if you can't see my house, we have this great candelabras in the walls, which I love. Is that the word for them, Kaylee? I call them-
Yeah, they're candle sconces on the wall.
I'm like a candelabra. Like what the
Candelabra is more
What
like
year is it?
chandelier.
I don't know.
Very fan of the opera.
Very I think she'd be like, ooh, I enjoy the candelabra. And then I think the second thing she would just ask is, may I know where the garbage is? Because Tammy loves garbage. I think she would be very insistent on finding out where the garbage is.
I was so thinking that we had so much trash. We were opening things up. I mean, there was constant, like your kitchen became like where we would stuff everything and then take it down. And all I was thinking when you were thinking that was like, yep, Tammy would love this.
The first thought you guys, when I walked in the house, one thing that somebody on the team said, they were like, you wouldn't believe how much garbage we set downstairs. And I think Tammy would be like, no, why did you take it away? Like she'd be super upset that you guys threw all the garbage away. She loves boxes.